I don't know if you guys have had this experience, but something that I've noticed is like it feels like what I'm continually trying to figure out is like, how do I keep from hitting dips, right? Like if I push into, let's say, my business, or I push into my training, or I push into relationship, or I push into whatever it is, right, that I'm pushing into, and I move the needle and it goes up, and then I'm like, how do I keep that needle going up and not experience, or is it possible to not have to experience the down after a needle has gone up, right? To not have like the line go up and then down and then up and then down. I mean, the trend might be up, right? But to not have like, is there a way to not have this down? Because just like my personal response when it's down is like, it does not feel good, right? It's just like frustration and like tired, like wondering what do I need to do? Like, why is it happening, right? And something that I realized, or something that I that kind of popped in my head was like, the reason that happens is because I put myself in new positions that I haven't been in before. And so it's literally like something that I haven't learned before, or something that I haven't experienced before. And so when I get into that new area or in that new space, I'm then like literally in a position where I'm trying to figure out what to do because I haven't been there before. And in the process of trying to figure out what to do because I haven't been there before, I'm going to feel the side effects of like, it's not working. I feel anxious. I feel worried. I feel all these different things about like, it's not working. Why isn't it working? Because I don't actually know what I'm doing because it's a new spot or a new area, right? And so point is, at least this is for me, right? I don't know what's true for you. I mean, this has been my, like, I realized too, it's been my, like, this is what I've been attempting to do for a long time. Like, this is what I've always wanted to do, is how do I figure out how to maximize myself? How do I figure out how to maximize, like, physical outputs? How do I figure out how to maximize the business? How do I figure out how to maximize finances? How do I figure out how to maximize the good effects that I can have on other people and also on myself, most importantly on myself? Like, I've always been interested in learning and getting better. And I think, like, in that process, what happens is I get into new places, and then it gets really hard in those new places. And then I'm like, then I feel that. I feel the difficulty of that. I feel the toughness of that. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm frustrated, like, why isn't this working, right? And so I guess, like, a lot of times what will be said in these scenarios by, you know, if you're to go to a doctor, if you're to go to a psychiatrist, or you go to something like that, they'd be like, well, there's something wrong with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I think what I'm trying to do is push into a new level, push into a new area that I haven't experienced before, and I'm learning something that I haven't learned before. And so it's like a very proper response. There's nothing wrong. It means that I have the willingness to push into new things. That's all it means, is I have the willingness to push into new things. If I don't ever push into new things, then I'm not going to experience this feeling or this sensation or this awareness of, like, I don't know what I'm doing. That's because I never push into any new things, right? And so it's just, yeah, it's something that I am personally continually, like, it's still, even if I know that, it's still like, when I get in it, it's really difficult, right? When it actually happens, like, it's really difficult. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's just, I don't know that has to be a good thing, but maybe it's just something that, like, be willing to experience that thing. Not necessarily look at it as good or bad, but take it as feedback and take it as information, and be willing to, like, continue to go, be willing to push through while listening to the feedback, right? And adjusting with the feedback, not necessarily like arbitrarily just pushing forward with something that isn't working, and pushing with something that isn't working, but being able to decipher the feedback to be able to make whatever changes are needed, but then also just not stopping because it's uncomfortable, because it feels like it's not working, or it feels like whatever, right? So I don't know, all of that to say is, like, it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just me working through how to get through those periods of time where it feels like it's not quite clicking. And I think it can be an encouraging point where it's like, okay, I'm in something that I haven't experienced before, or this is telling me that something that I'm doing is not working. And that is the point at which something is learned to then solve whatever problem is causing that, so that it doesn't happen again. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to experience a problem again. It means that I don't want to experience that specific problem because I've handled it.